Hey guys, it's Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist. I'm here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and can you believe that not too long ago this used to be my view every morning. You can kind of see them there in the background, Petronas Towers, some of my favorite buildings, tallest twin towers in the world, and it was those buildings that originally brought me to Malaysia many times as a guy visiting and living the nomad lifestyle. Eventually caused me to make Kuala Lumpur my main base city, as we talk about, for those living the nomad capitalist lifestyle. And so I want to talk today about living in Malaysia, why you should consider it, and what are some of the benefits of doing so. Now, I understand that a lot of folks talk about living in Southeast Asia as a way to live cheaply, $700 a month in Chiang Mai, $1 street food meals. Many of those things exist here. You're not going to get by on such low prices as you would in places like Chiang Mai, but you can eat street food, you can get things very cheaply. But that's not what this video is about. That's never what I was about or what Nomad Capitalist was about. For me at Nomad Capitalist, life is about how do I, as a high-achieving entrepreneur and investor, and how do you as the same, live in comfort and do so with all the advantages on your side. And I think that Malaysia allows you to do that, much more so in my personal opinion than anywhere else in Southeast Asia, at least for the money and for the simplicity of doing so. So in Malaysia, you have great diversity. You have something that really I don't think anywhere else in Southeast Asia has to this extent. You have Chinese, you have Malays, you have Indians. Those are the main cultures. You have Middle Eastern immigrants adding flavor. You have expats. You have a very diverse area. In fact, I've called it the United States of Asia in all of the good ways and all the diversity. I don't get too much into what people are doing amongst themselves in the different groups here in Malaysia. I don't get involved in that, but for me, it's kind of the expat. It's rather harmonious, compared especially to places like the United States. And so you've got a lot of different dining options. You've got a lot of different people to meet, a lot of different cultural influences that make things very interesting. So Kuala Lumpur is the main city. It's the capital. It's where I'd recommend that you live because you've got fast internet. You now have 100 meg, and I think even faster internet. You don't have that in Penang, the Chinese area. You don't have that in Langkawi. So if you want internet, if you're a nomad, you'll want to be here in Kuala Lumpur. The malls, the restaurants, the accessibility is all excellent. I was just at the Pavilion Mall, Pavilion KL, owned by Qatar. I will put this mall, I'll put the mall behind me, Surya, up against the malls in Dubai. I think it's some of the best malls anywhere in the world if you like shopping and if you like just hanging out. And at those malls, there must be 200 restaurants at Pavilion Kuala Lumpur. You've got high-end, you've got low-end, you've got everything in between. You want burgers, you want Asian, you want whatever you want. Now that exists in a lot of cities, but not only in Kuala Lumpur do you have the more authentic stuff where it's kind of in an alleyway somewhere, but you also have all the chains. You have everything in a mall. And to me, it's much more, this is my personal opinion, it's much more harmoniously set up and much more livable than Bangkok. Bangkok, kind of like Hong Kong, is a fun city to go and visit. Quite frankly, I find it a little bit chaotic, a little bit cacophonous, to use kind of a $1 word. I find Kuala Lumpur to be very livable. And so, as a tourist, you might come here and say there's not a lot to do. And that's true. You could probably bang up the city in 3 or 4 days. Go up to Langkawi, spend a weekend, you're out in a week. But it's one of those places where you live here and you see just things are very easy. The only real downside, quite frankly, to living here is if you like to drink, then you have to take advantage of duty-free every time you come back into the airport because alcohol is expensive due to being a Muslim country. But that is the biggest objection I hear to folks about Malaysia is, oh, it's a Muslim country. It's one of the most moderate, most friendly Muslim countries that I've been to. They have a relatively easy, possibly one of the easiest immigration programs in Southeast Asia. And for so many reasons, I think that it is probably the best value in Southeast Asia. Singapore certainly has its perks. Singapore gets pretty boring. Singapore gets pretty claustrophobic. And in terms of actually getting a visa to go to Singapore, I hope you have a lot of money or are prepared to pay a lot of tax to get in there because they're pretty selective, whereas Malaysia is much more friendly to people moving here. On top of that, I wouldn't be buying property here, so if you're looking to buy real estate somewhere, it's probably not the place for that. But when I was here, I was renting, and I think at the lowest point of the Malaysian ringgit, I was paying $1,200 or $1,300 a month for a $600,000 apartment. Beautiful view of the Petronas Towers. if I were to come back again, I would spend more. I'd probably spend $2,000, $2,500, have an even better view, have even more beautiful finishes. But you can really live in luxury for a very low price. And then when you want to get out, you have Malaysian Airlines, you have AirAsia, the budget airline, you've got Firefly for some regional flights, you've got Singapore close by for flights. It's super easy to travel within Asia, within anywhere in the world really, and very affordable compared to a city like Hong Kong. So you've got a nice mix of affordability, luxury, lots of different options, lots of different cultures, very friendly immigration policy, which compared to what is going on in Thailand right now, I think is a big benefit for Westerners. They love Westerners. And so my recommendation, if you're thinking about living in Malaysia, come and check it out. Hotels are dirt cheap for what you get compared to a lot of places in the world. And it really, I think, makes a lot of sense for the person who's living the nomad capitalist lifestyle, not the Southeast Asia, live on a shoestring lifestyle, but the nomad capitalist lifestyle of wanting luxury but not wanting to pay a fortune. And the good news is that you can do that in Malaysia. Not only that, but it's a territorial tax country, so your foreign source income won't be taxed. Definitely consider Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia.